A drunk driver killed my mom, so I tore off all his limbs and blew up his dog. My mom had just picked me up from a friend's house. It was late, and my mom was angry at me for whatever reason. We had just about made it home when a large truck swerves across the road into our lane. It was a head-on collision. My mom was killed instantly, but I somehow survived. All the bones in my legs were completely shattered, and I had suffered horrible head trauma. I thought my life was over. I didn't want to live anymore. Without my mom, what purpose did I have? But laying in that hospital bed for months gave me time to think. It gave me time to plan. I quit feeling sorry for myself and wallowing in how things could have ended differently. Over time, my sorrow dissipated, and in its place, a fiery hatred grew for the man who killed my mom. The large truck he was in took minimal damage, so he was able to speed off and not be caught. I didn't see his face, nor did I even see the color of the truck when he slammed into us. None of that mattered, though, because I vividly remembered the license plate number. It had been 4 months since the accident. I was almost back to normal, so the doctors decided to send me back to my grandparents' house. I thought about going to the police and giving them the drunk driver's license plate number, but something stopped me. Simply putting this man in jail was not enough. He didn't just need to be punished, he needed to suffer. So I made that my goal. I dedicated the next chapter of my life to ruining his. I spent days inside, sitting on the computer, researching, tracking license plates. I was finally able to trace it to a household. It had to belong to the man. The next morning, I drove to the house. It was far from town, and I had to take many back roads to get there. Pulling into the driveway, I noticed the house was somewhat of a trailer home. It looked old and run down. I put the car in park and sat there. I just stared at the house, knowing exactly what awaited the man. I walked to the front porch and knocked on the door. A dog began to bark loudly. Almost a minute later, a wrinkly, middle-aged man with crooked yellow teeth answered the door. The smell of liquor radiated from him. I pretended to be friendly, but on the inside, my blood was boiling. I asked him one question. "Does Beatrice live here?" That was my mom's name. He flinched upon hearing it. I was 100% sure this was the guy who killed my mom. And before the man could say anything, I pulled out my fully automatic M16 rifle, letting off 2 shots, 1 for each kneecap. He fell to the ground, howling in pain. Eyes wide, I just glared at him laying there, feeling nothing but satisfaction. He tried to reach for his phone, but I kicked it away, telling him, "You can't escape vengeance." He laid there, frozen, breathing heavily. I then jumped on him, using chloroform to make him pass out. Sometime later, I woke him up. There he was, all tied up, unable to move. I stood in front of him holding his dog, strapped with a C4 that could be detonated at any moment with the press of a button. Holding the remote in my hands, I accepted my detachment from humanity, for I was no longer a person. I was vengeance. I set the dog down on the ground and threw a bone outside. The dog ran after it. I looked down to make sure the man was watching. I pressed the button on the remote, and seconds later, boom! The dog was no more. Only a red cloud of mist remained, along with scattered pieces of flesh. The man looked down and began to cry out. I just laughed at him, for it was the happiest I had felt since he killed my mom. He laid face down on the ground, sobbing. His arms were tied behind his back. With all my strength, I pulled them over his head. You could hear the joints and ligaments shattering with each movement. I twisted them in ways they should never be able to twist. When I let go of them, they fell limp next to him. And the whole time, the man screamed in agony. I enjoyed